Hey, Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com, and I want to go over some really cool stuff today. So this video is all about how to go from the first conversation, the very first conversation when you first meet a girl, all the way to the bedroom. Now, I've been putting out a lot of videos recently that have been explaining kind of different sections of this. I mean, really, if you go through all the videos in the channel, every different video has, a small section that kind of dives really deep into some part of an interaction when you meet a girl or when you're taking her home or going on a date or when you're first approaching. And so this video is something I wanted to do to help you make sense of everything. So this is not a super deep dive, but more of an overall look of what it looks like, and I'm going to give you a formula for what it looks like from the very first time that you talk to her all the way to the point where you are in the bedroom and having sex with her. So look to this as a general guideline and sort of a roadmap for you to be able to tell kind of what's going on when you're first talking to a girl and really what this whole thing looks like. What does this whole process look like and what you should be aiming for? So let's get into it. Here is the basic roadmap. It starts with the approach. Obviously, you have to go over and you have to start talking to a girl. And then you're going to be conversing with her, having conversation with her. You guys are going to be talking. You're going to be in the interaction with her, communicating with her. And then you're going to either have a close one or a close two. Now, what I'm going to do here, this is the roadmap right here. I'm going to be diving into these just a little bit so you get an idea of how to approach some best tactics for talking to her, getting her attracted, getting her invested, and then what you can do for close one and close two. Again, you're probably like, what is this? But we're going to go into it and I'll be explaining all of it. So this is the basic roadmap. Again, approach into conversing with her into the close. Simple as that. So with the approach, general guidelines. Some of this is more of the 80-20. When I say 80-20, this is the 20% that has the biggest effect on your results, right? Which is going to get 80% of your results. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Now with the approach fast. Approach fast. That's what you need to do. That is one of the biggest things you need to do to get rid of that anxiety, to get rid of that fear. A lot of guys want to know how to get over that anxiety. The best thing to do is to go out and practice and approach very fast, meaning the second you see a girl you want to talk to, before your mind has the ability to tell you and give you an excuse of why not to do it, you should already be there and talking to her. Okay, so that's the biggest thing you could really do in terms of approaching. Even, I'll give you an opener in just a second, but either way, just know that it's all about going up there as fast as humanly possible. And then, honestly, this is, I have different openers I've talked about in the channel, but if you have nothing else to say, you say, hi, I'm Tripp. Obviously, you're not going to say Tripp. You're going to say your name. Hi, I'm, and then say your name. This is the best. I'm telling you right now, if you actually go out and you decide to just approach 10 girls and say, hi, I'm, and introduce yourself, you will be shocked. Really, you will be shocked at how many conversations you can easily get into and how many of those can actually turn into a phone number just by doing that. Like, you could stop this video right here and this will actually get you results. Simple as that. Going up to girls and introducing yourself. Okay? And then the third thing is powering through the negative emotions. So what's going to happen here, and this is kind of related to approaching fast, but you're going to be going up to girls, and even though you've already done the approach and you've already started the conversation, you're still going to feel some of that fear, some of that anxiety. There's going to be a fight or flight response mode happening in your body that's going to be telling you, okay, this is heavy emotions, you should leave, you should get out of here. But it's up to you to power through those negative emotions, okay? You're going to be feeling a lot of different feelings because you're not used to talking to girls, or maybe you are, but you're not used to talking to girls that you're really attracted to. You need to power through these negative emotions and stay in the conversation, okay? Stay in as long as you can, which is going to bring me to the next part of this formula, which is converse. Now, let's talk about Chick Crack. If you don't have that already, this is something that I offer to you for free. It's basically a video that dives deep into some of the best conversation topics that you can use with a girl that have been proven to do very well and get her more interested in conversation. Because the whole idea here, and I'll get to a minute where you can find this, but the whole idea here is the fact that the more and more time that you spend with a girl, the more chance you have of getting her invested and attracted. So time actually equals attraction. For the most part, of course, you can always get friend zoned, but we'll talk about how not to do that. But either way, the more time that you spend with her, the more time she gets the option to be able to experience you, learn about you, see your personality, feel your vibe, and then it gives her the option to be attracted to you. Now, Chick Crack, you can get that. There is a link in the description below, and I go into all the different conversation topics that women really like to talk about. And I don't want to just push you to that. I'll give you one right now. Here's one that you will learn about in the Chick Crack video. Again, it's 100% free. Just go to the link in the description and you'll get it. But one of the conversation topics is signs and astrology. I kid you not. I have never had a moment where I've brought this up to a girl and she just wasn't interested. All girls know their signs. All girls know something about their signs. A lot of girls you're going to find have already checked their horoscope that day. It's pretty crazy how many girls are super into this. And even if they're not super into it, they're into it just enough where you can have a conversation with her about it and she'll be interested. So I like to just in the middle of conversation be like, hold on, what's your sign? And then you can guess what her sign is, even though you might have no idea. But this gets the conversation rolling. So this is one of the awesome conversation topics in Chick Crack. You can go check out the rest of that in the free video. Now also, I want to give you this idea of entertainment. If you've been watching a lot of my videos or if you have my Hooked program, I talk a lot about entertainment, and entertainment is the idea of being able to entertain yourself in an interaction. So what this means is you should be going into the interaction, talking about the things you want to talk about, going in there, enjoying it, cracking jokes, and have it be fun. But again, it's not about entertaining her. This is entertainment for you. What would be interesting to you? See, a lot of guys, they don't really end up doing so well in this area because, I'm saying this because they don't know about this entertainment. They go in there and they think, well, you know what? I got to do all these things to get her interested. And that's a lot of work, right? So you're going into an interaction with a lot of work on your hands, and it's not fun, and it's dreadful, and it's boring, and it's hard, and it feels like you're trying to get something from her, which really is not the way to build attraction. Instead, you want to go in and have it be so you have a good time. This is so key. So what are the things that make you laugh? What are the things that are interesting to you? What's going on in your life? What can you share? A lot of guys aren't really good about sharing stuff about them either. I know they're not used to doing that. It's not really in our nature to just share information about ourselves. We ask more questions. But I promise you, once you start flipping this and start entertaining yourself, then it will be to the point where she will become more invested in you. And like I was saying earlier, this is going to help you get out of the friend zone because you're creating a new type of dynamic. Usually a friend zone dynamic is when the girl feels like the guy is just all into her, asking her a bunch of questions, and everything's about her, and he becomes this really nice friend, and there's no sexual tension. So think about these things as you are talking to the girl. So that is conversing, and now we go to the close. So there's close 1 and there's close 2. Close 1 is going to be trying to move the interaction forward and getting her to your bedroom that night. So let's say you meet a girl at a bar, or let's say, it doesn't matter, you meet her during the day. Okay, the whole idea is you want to bounce her to a different location, okay? Different location. This could be anywhere. It can even be right back to your place. If you can't get her back to your place right away, that's fine. Bounce her somewhere new. Get it to the point where you guys are moving around together, so it almost feels a lot easier if you suggest going back to your place. Now, in order to do this, you need to get the logistics, okay? It's not going to be as easy as just meeting a girl at a bar and then just trying to get her home with you. There's a lot of different variables that are going on. She might be with friends. She might be from out of town. She might have roommates. She might be staying somewhere else for the night. So you got to find these things out as you're interacting with her. Ask her the questions to find out who she's there with, where she's staying, where she lives. Understanding all this is going to help put you in a position of more control so you can maneuver it to the point where you can then eventually get her back to your place or move to a different location and then go to your place. Like I said, this is going from conversation to the bedroom. Now for close 2, this is if it's not possible to get her back, right? If the logistics aren't in your favor and you can't get her back to your place, or you can't go to her place, or you can't get her anywhere where you guys are going to get more intimate and have sex, well then this is the point where you do close option number 2. Typical, right? You get her number, and then you ask her on a date, and then you can go back to your place, right? I know easier said than done here. There's a lot going on here, but this is the general idea. I just want you to understand the general idea of how to move the interaction forward, because I get this question a lot. People ask me in the comments, Tripp, how do I move this interaction forward? This video just showed you how to do that. Okay, these are the goals. So again, if you can't get her to your bedroom or her bedroom that night, get her number, then you ask her on a date, find a time where you guys can get together, and then you go back to your place and have a reason for you guys to go back there, or maybe you're by her place and you go back there. You don't have to make it that complicated, and I don't want this to be complicated for you. So just think about the entire interaction in terms of this: approach, converse, and then one of these closes, starting with close 1 into close 2. Now again, if you want to get more information on what kind of conversation topics to talk about that a girl likes, go to trippadvice.com/chick-crack. I'm going to put that link in the description below so you can learn more about what is interesting to girls so conversation flows so much easier. So go do that. In the comments below, write a comment. I want to hear from you. Does this make sense? What's missing for you? What's not completely coming together for you? I want to hear from you. So write in the comments, press like if this helped, go get Chick Crack, and I'll see you on the next video.